In the very beginning, the world was dark and empty, but God said, "Let there be light." And suddenly there was light. God saw that the light was good, and he called it day. The darkness he called night. And that was the first day. On the second day, God made the sky. He separated the waters. Some stayed below to form the oceans, and some went up to create clouds. On the third day, God said, "Let the waters gather together so dry land can appear." And it happened. God called the dry land earth and the waters seas. Then he made all kinds of plants and trees that grew on the earth with fruits and flowers. On the fourth day, God made the sun to shine in the daytime and the moon and stars to light up the night. They helped mark the days, seasons, and years. On the fifth day, God filled the sky with birds and the sea with fish and other sea creatures. He said, "Be fruitful and multiply." On the sixth day, God created all the animals that live on the earth: lions, tigers, cows, and elephants. Then God made the most special creatures of all people. He made a man named Adam from the dust of the ground, and he breathed life into him. God saw that Adam was lonely, so he made a woman named Eve from one of Adam's ribs. God said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply, and take care of the earth." On the seventh day, after all his work was done, God took a rest. He looked at everything he had made and saw that it was very good. God placed Adam and Eve in a beautiful garden called Eden. The garden was full of trees and animals, and they had everything they needed. God gave them just one rule: don't eat the fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. But one day, a sneaky serpent, the devil, tricked Eve into eating the fruit. She gave some to Adam, and he ate it too. When they ate the fruit, they realized they had disobeyed God, and they felt ashamed. God was sad because they had broken his rule, and he had to send them out of the garden. But even then, he promised that one day he would send someone to fix everything they had broken. Adam and Eve had two sons, Cain and Abel. Cain was a farmer, and Abel was a shepherd. One day, they both brought gifts to God. Abel gave God his best lamb, but Cain brought some fruits from his crops. God was pleased with Abel's gift, but he didn't accept Cain's because Cain didn't give his best. Cain became very angry, and God warned him to choose good over evil. But Cain didn't listen. He took Abel into the field and hurt him. When God asked Cain where his brother was, Cain lied and said, "I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper?" God knew what Cain had done, and he punished him, sending him away to live in the land of Nod. Even though Cain made a bad choice, God still cared about him and gave him a mark to protect him. And even though Adam and Eve had made a mistake, God's plan to make everything right one day began with them. God promised that through their children, he would bring hope and healing to the world. And that's the beginning of the story of how God loves and takes care of his creation.